if there is an opportunity to have a statutory right, never mind a constitutional right to abortion in every state in the country, it is not coming with the Republican Party. That is 100% the case. And if there is a 1% chance that is going to come with the Democratic Party, just here, this story is one of many, but here.
Last fall, Deborah and Lee Dorber were excited to be giving their son Caden a sibling. But at an ultrasound when Deborah was 24 weeks pregnant, the doctors had terrible news.
The baby has no kidneys and you have little to no amniotic fluid.
The doctor said the baby was sure to be stillborn or die quickly after birth, and Deborah was at an increased risk of a potentially deadly pregnancy complication.
I broke down crying in the room.
It's a rare condition called Potter's syndrome. In many states, doctors offer to terminate such doomed pregnancies, and that's what the Dorbers wanted to do. But their doctors said it wasn't possible because of a Florida law passed last year that bans nearly all abortions after 15 weeks. The law has an exception in cases of a fatal fetal abnormality that is incompatible with life outside the womb. Dr. Stephanie Ross, a high-risk pregnancy doctor in Florida, says she understands why Deborah's doctor wouldn't terminate the pregnancy.
The moment the law came out, I think everyone was scrambling to try to figure out what exactly was that language intended to convey.
Doctors found in violation of the law can face heavy fines and even prison terms. The Dorbers had two choices: leave Florida for a termination elsewhere or take the pregnancy to full term. Even though it's legal to leave Florida to get an abortion, the Dorbers said they were scared they'd get arrested. So Deborah stayed pregnant.
I continue to feel this baby move and knowing that I'm going to give birth and watch my child pass.
Her mental health suffered.
I really started having issues with depression and anxiety and just not wanting to get up out of bed.
As Caden grew more and more attached to his little sibling.
He continued to see my belly grow and he continued to fill my belly to feel the baby moved. And he kept getting excited that he was going to have a sibling.
The baby, a boy they named Milo, was born in March, and as the doctors predicted, his life was short. As Deborah held Milo in her arms, he gasped for breath and died in about an hour and a half. Deborah doesn't want to get pregnant again.
I couldn't go through another trauma like this with pregnancy.
When told about the Dorbers' story, Florida Representative Jenna Persons-Malika, a sponsor of the Florida abortion law, sent CNN this statement: "We are providing mothers with the resources they need to raise healthy..."
The bottom line is, she's basically saying we're going to provide resources to justify forcing people to carry pregnancies to term. But the bottom line is that doctors don't know. This is just, it's an illustration of two things. One, this is what Republican politics are about. You cannot move forward in Republican politics without this. And two, exceptions are BS.
Yep.
This is a perfect example. Perfect example. They're too ambiguous. And when the penalty is going to jail, losing your license, that's the end of the story.
Doctors won't grant those exceptions. Yeah. So I don't know how many more stories are we going to get out of this, and
it's just going to be ongoing.
Yeah.
We're going to hear these stories all the time, to the extent that the press is going to cover them. But they're happening every day.
Yeah. I mean, Ron DeSantis ran on "Make America Florida" or whatever the hell he was saying. Americans don't want this, resoundingly.
Oh, we'll find out.
I mean,
Donald Trump's not doing anything different.
Abortion rights are popular. I understand, but I understand what you're saying. But it's a minoritarian kind of religious fundamentalist thrust, and they're just more militant than a lot of other groups.
Based on an entirely fantastic made-up concern that somehow there's women who abuse abortion to get late-term abortions or whatever, just based on a whim. We're putting untold women through this just because of that.
Well, and because they should be punished. If God didn't determine that they have a healthy pregnancy, a healthy baby, so it should be, and she should be punished for it.
Colonel Burner. Sam, these discussions about voting are important. You helped improve my perspective in 2016 when I was dumb enough to consider writing in Bernie Sanders for president. Gerald from New Orleans. Bad news for that IMer. Biden has stated that he would veto Medicare for all. That is true. Although we do have more people who are insured, at least, than we have at any other time in the country in terms of percent.
Well, also it focuses too much, like even like the 99% Hitler thing. It's like the different coalitions. Like depending, I think there is like a capital veto that controls things on both parties that will lead to somebody like Biden saying, I would do that. But there is no like labor contingent of the Republican Party. There's no pro Medicare for all.
I went to
contingent
that.
of it.
I talked to Whitakers. That's significantly less than a 1 in 1,000 chance. Obama was going to try and privatize Social Security, so maybe try a different argument. Wrong place to talk about what Obama was trying to do with Social Security. You should know you're on the wrong show, because he did not try and privatize. He tried to adjust the cost of living increase to peg it to an index that would have essentially cut some benefits for seniors. Ultimately, though, the Democratic Party in 2016, the Democrats in the Senate voted, obviously it didn't become law, to increase Social Security benefits. And so you're wrong about that. This is not the place to misstate facts about Social Security. There's a lot of things you can get away with, but this is not the place for that.